21 years. For many people who followed the fortunes of the Calgary Stampeders, it is a lifetime of being a fan. It's been for some a lifetime of settling for the pain of the last-minute loss to the Eskimos, of blowing a good lead, or seeing hopes and dreams shattered as promise turned to bitter pills of defeat. But fans we are still. In spite of the losses, we have turned out for all of these years to witness the spectacle of the gridiron drama. And we have applauded our men in red and white and have been there for them, as they so undeniably have been there for us. Of course, now, things have changed beyond recognition. The 1992 football season has seen a remarkable thing happen to the Calgary Stampeder Football Club, with the transition from publicly owned team to private ownership. Owner Larry Rickman and his crew have introduced in their own unique ways the concept that the new Calgary Stampeders are a business, and that in business, especially in the tricky world of sports, there are winners and losers, and that in order to really stand a chance of winning big, risks must be taken. These lines can perhaps personify the new attitudes that emerge when we face down risk. To place your ideas and dreams before the crowd is to risk being called naive. To love is to risk not being loved in return. To live is to risk dying. To hope is to risk despair. To try is to risk failure. But risks must be taken, because the greatest risk in life is to risk nothing. The people who risk nothing, do nothing, have nothing, are nothing, and become nothing. They avoid suffering and sorrow, but they simply cannot learn to feel, change, grow, love, and live. Chained by their servitude, they are slaves. They've forfeited their freedom. Only the people who risk are truly free. So what did the Stampeders risk this year? The answer is, of course, none other than two words: Doug Flutie. And of course, the risk has paid off, because the 21-year drought has finally ended. The big win has been won. Yes, you know the answer, but let the words be spoken as often as you like. The Calgary Stampeders have won the 1992 Grey Cup. They are the champions of Canadian football. But perhaps most important, they have won over totally the hearts and minds of Calgary sports fans. This is the story of two football games. The first was a passion play called the 1992 Western Division Championship, a football game that was played on a frosty day in November at McMahon Stadium in Calgary. Let's consider the pure spectacle that was played out before the eyes, ears, throats, and hearts of over 28,000 devoted football fans. Once again, the Calgary Stampeders would meet the Edmonton Eskimos in the Western Final. This time, however, the Stamps would be on home turf. Last year, Calgary humiliated the Eskimos in front of their own fans, 38-36 in last-minute heroics.
He could go touchdown, Calgary!
Edmonton would be eager to return the favor in this, the third straight Battle of Alberta Western Final. From early on, it became evident that Calgary's defense would make life difficult for the Eskimos.
Ham's missed on his last three tries. Can't find anybody. Down he goes. Tim Cofield.
The defense that gave up the fewest number of touchdowns in the Canadian Football League this season was stopping Tracy Ham, and the Edmonton Eskimo offense in its tracks.
Back to the 35.
Calgary's offense had a series of impressive plays early on, but just couldn't capitalize.
Look at this. Now he pitches it out to Derek Crawford's got great speed. To midfield.
That is, until the last play of the first quarter, when 9-year veteran safety Greg Peterson picks off Tracy Ham. Flutie would then dump it off to Jenkins for a first down.
Dishes it off. Nice catch there by Jenkins.
Carl Bland brings Calgary 27 yards closer. Then, Mark McLaughlin, who led the league with 208 points this season, puts the Stamps up 3-1. Calgary's special teams would then give the offense a break when Henry the Gizmo Williams is crushed on a punt and fumbles the ball deep in Eskimo territory. Doug Flutie scores on the very next play. Edmonton would give up a safety before Gizmo Williams scores on this pass. A Tony Martino single late in the second quarter puts Calgary up 13-8 at the half. Early in the second half, Edmonton went ahead 15-13 before the game became a decidedly defensive struggle. After making gains with good offensive plays, Edmonton's defense would come up strong and Calgary would have to kick it away. When the Eskimos had the ball, the Stamps defense held the running game.
Key play here, 2nd and 10. And they give it back to Souls. Great defense that time.
Knockdown passes.
Oh, boy, Carl Anthony.
And sack the quarterback.
Play action, the roll by him. He's in trouble. Down he goes, and what a big defensive play that is.
In the fourth quarter, Edmonton went ahead 22-13 on a Michael Souls touchdown. The Stamps were not about to roll over and die, however. Mark McLaughlin kicked for 3 points and put Calgary within a converted touchdown away from winning the Western Final. But with less than 3 minutes to go, the Eskimos would intercept a pass, and the Stampeders defense would once again have to come up big. Would they answer the call?
Oh, trouble with the exchange from center. Will Johnson can't get him, but Cofield does.
Yes. Now, with just a minute left in the game, Doug Flutie and the Calgary offense would have to come up with the drive of the season.
Up to the 45 and almost to midfield. Big play for the Stampeders.
56 yards and 62 seconds to go.
One last thing. The spirit of the people that were in the stands the night we were playing Edmonton, we were down by a touchdown with about a minute to go. And we had just come off throwing an interception, and we were coming back on the field with a minute to go, our last chance. And before the offense on the way out to the field, the people in the stands went to their feet to urge us on. And that was fantastic.
As Doug Flutie tries to pull off the march to give him his first playoff win in the CFL. 2nd and 10. Lots of time.
Oh, he's got him. He's got him.
To the 15. Alan Pitts.
Boy, I bet you we'll see a double move here, Chris, on Enos Jackson. Let's see what happens. I don't know how he got so wide open downfield.
40 yards for the leading receiver.
Here comes Pitts. It's an out and up. It's an out and up. They got Jackson on what we call a wheel route.
They're 15 yards away from the Grey Cup game in Toronto. Flutie will keep it. And steps out after a gain of 8. 36 seconds left on the clock.
Boy, I am really surprised that Enos Jackson gave up a double cut in that situation.
We're good! They mark it at the 9. They give Flutie 8. Check that, about 7 for Flutie. It's about 2.5 yards for a first down. 3 receivers to the wide side, 3 receivers to the short side.
It's going to be a run all the way. Yep.
Flutie has the first down to the 3. 33 seconds to go. And this is why Larry Rickman paid a guy $1 million a year. I think I read once that he won 16 college games at Boston College.
Calgary Stampeders, first place overall in the CFL, were Grey Cup bound for the second year in a row.
Well, I'll tell you, it took one big play to spark that drive. Alan Pitts came through for him.
McLaughlin has given the Stampeders the lead. 19 seconds left.
You knew that sooner or later the Calgary would answer the call. That's why I said ball control for 4 quarters wasn't going to be enough to beat Calgary. Let's see if Edmonton can come back and get a field goal.
Well, we got by the Eskimos. 1 year ago, after the fabulous victory in Edmonton, when the Stampeders pulled off a miracle last-second comeback against their northern Alberta rivals, there was a sense of, this is enough of a victory for 1 year. This carried over into the 1991 Grey Cup in Winnipeg, and the Toronto Argonauts simply won the Canadian Football Championship. But 1992 was a different story. From the moment the 1991 season ended, the coaching staff and the entire team dedicated itself to one single goal: winning the Grey Cup and bringing it home to Calgary. That single-minded dedication and focus was never more evident than in the effort the coaching staff made to keep the focus alive in preparation for the big game, November 29 at Skydome in Toronto. Coach Don Southern, for instance, was hard at work reviewing game films of previous Calgary-Winnipeg games.
What we try to do now is make dubs of these films so we can take them down to Toronto and let the players have a chance to watch them in their leisure time. And we'll have probably about 6 different meetings going on throughout the week with different, the defensive backs, the linebackers, the D-line, the offensive guys have their meetings. So
yes,
a lot of films are involved, and probably more than people really think.
Other coaches worked hard to keep up the edge. Tom Higgins shows this example to the hilt, conducting a coaching clinic on the team bus as the Stampeders travel from McMahon Stadium to the Calgary International Airport for the flight to Toronto, November 24th. All-star quarterback Doug Flutie shows his own leadership as well. Just moments before the same team bus departs for the airport, Flutie got some of the guys together to watch the personal highlights package he put together of footage from the Western Final. Such intensity and dedication is what makes true winners. The trip to Toronto would not be complete unless the Stampeders returned home with the big one, the Grey Cup, and every member of the team knows it. There is an art to the football practice. There is an art to coaching. Calgary head coach Wally Buono has assembled one of the finest coaching staffs Canada has ever seen. What sometimes goes unnoticed is the dedication of other members of the staff. For instance, athletic therapist Pat Clayton, who talks about the things that have to be considered when you move from the frigid confines of November in Calgary and find yourself playing in the luxurious splendor of Skydome in Toronto.
So we're preparing them as far as their water and fluid levels are concerned, the electrolyte levels, all of those things are important now. We don't have to worry about them becoming stiff or any of those other things that happen in cold weather games, in particular hamstrings and groins and all those other things that tighten up in those kinds of conditions. So this presents an even playing field for both teams. It's the best way to have it.
Kickers, receivers, special teams, offensive and defensive lines, backfield, and secondary. It's just a string of names, but the Calgary Stampeders rededicate themselves as a single united front, all in preparation for just one more 60-minute struggle, just one more victory. There's only one chance to win the Grey Cup, and this team wants to have it all. And oh, the fans, those dedicated diehards who will follow their heroes to the ends of the earth. Those people who, in the spirit of the pioneers of 1948, when Calgary first traveled east, roared in and set up shop right in the heart of downtown Toronto. Flapjack breakfasts, country bands, mini stampede parades, and just a lot of unrestrained good times were had by all, as Calgary sports fans prepare to savor a victory in the Grey Cup Classic. Stampeders owner Larry Rickman had a hectic schedule in Toronto. Top business priorities were to discuss expansion plans for the CFL and to lobby for having the 1993 Grey Cup come to Calgary for the first time since 1975. Mind you, Larry was also able to take time out to enjoy Grey Cup week. But Larry Rickman, like every other Calgary fan in Toronto, was most eagerly anticipating the big game on Sunday. After all, that is why we all came to Toronto in the first place. Let's bring on the main event. As kickoff loomed for the 1992 Grey Cup, there were a lot of people who predicted the game would be very close. The pregame odds in some quarters had the Calgary Stampeders slim favorites. But just past the midway point in the fourth quarter, the media experts had already chosen the game's most valuable player. And they were handing out the hats, which are given to the team that wins the Grey Cup. So how did this event take place? Total domination. Total control. An awesome passing attack. A complete defensive shutdown of the much-feared Winnipeg offense, led by the wily Matt Dunnigan. Yes, these elements were all a part of the complete team effort that made the Calgary Stampeders the 1992 champions of Canadian football. Here's the statistical story of the 1992 Grey Cup game. First downs, Calgary 25, Winnipeg 12. Yards rushing, Calgary 48, Winnipeg 36. Return yardage, Calgary 132, Winnipeg 77. And yards passing, Stampeders 480, Winnipeg 202. Flutie completed 33 of 49 passes and had no passes intercepted. His yardage is second only to that of Sam Echeverry, who threw for some 508 yards in the 1955 Classic against the Edmonton Eskimos. Yes, the numbers are fun to consider. Even more fun for Stampeder fans was the score: Calgary 24, Winnipeg 10. Let's now pause to bask in the beautiful pictures that are created when a bunch of football guys from Calgary decide to go out and win a Grey Cup. The next few minutes are a small tribute to our men in red and white and the fans who cheer on the Calgary Stampeders. Enjoy. We'll see you at McMahon in 1993.
Waiting's over. It's fun time. Let's take it. Stamp on 3. 1, 2, 3, stamp.
Wanted the ball to start the football game, and Troy Westwood kicks off. The game is underway. Pee Wee Smith on the kickoff return is run down as he gets to the 35-yard line. Flutie, the fastest in the CFL as a quarterback to pass for over 15,000 yards, a feat accomplished in just 3 seasons. Flutie out of the shotgun is throwing deep for Crawford. He's got it. The first play of the game goes for 39 yards. McLaughlin will attempt the 37-yard field goal. A McLaughlin, the CFL scoring leader this year, puts the Stampeders on the board. A 37-yard field goal. On first down, he gets to Richardson. He loses the football, but I think he got it back. Second and 5. Incomplete, intended for Greenville. He was leading at 3-0. First and 10 for the Stampeders from their own 11. Here's the pressure on Flutie. He throws deep. And a fine catch by a man who could very well emerge. The Stampeders from their own 52-yard line. Flutie for Bland, and he has a first down of the wide field goal attempt. Richardson is stacked up. Game for Rod Hill, his 100th as a Blue Bomber. Matt Dunnigan throws to the sidelines, incomplete. He was looking for Larry Thompson. Another fine punt by Bob Cameron. Crawford tries to get to the outside, now comes back into the middle, and he's up. Lived up to his boast. Flutie throws for Pee Wee Smith. He's got it.
Pee Wee Smith!
Against impromptu. Sapunjas is close to a 10-yard gain. 6 receivers in the Calgary formation. Flutie throws to the left for Sapunjas. Touchdown! Shotgun and throws for Crawford. Oh, a broken ankle in the first game of 1991, but he is having a great breakout. First quarterback
Get to him, and that's a nice job of running.
their side. Both have the speed. Was saying that one of Flutie's strengths is that he does so many good things after the. They have had some problems trying to defend against. Backing position thus far. Bob Cameron's third down punt sailing to Crawford at the 35-yard line. Crawford forced on him from the shotgun. First and 10 Calgary. Randolph came in, but Flutie 52. 2:43 remaining in the first half.
Where he can get his mismatch.
Finds Bland, first down. Flutie to Sapunjas. Here hockey in Winnipeg. Flutie throws the pass for Alan Bendolf, was in pursuit of Flutie. Has been on the winning team as a player in 74 and 77. This is his second time as a coach, and he'll be delighted with what he sees. On 1st and 10, Flutie flips it out to Sapunjas, and Sapunjas dives. The touchdown. 1st and 10. Flutie out of the shotgun for Pitts. Touchdown.